Welcome to Dorker Realms. While most gamers will be familiar with Dungeons & Dragons from the newest edition of the game, there is a movement amongst some players called the Old School Revival, taking inspiration from the design philosophy of the earliest editions of D&D and bringing them into the modern era. These games and adventures emphasize the weird, the challenging, and the hardcore. Bear witness as our intrepid players explore unusual and dangerous tales in these old school adventures. This is part 12 of Deep Carbon Observatory. Though the adventures can be listened to in any order, we recommend beginning with the first episode of any given adventure. We go now to the table to delve into Dorker Realms.
Okay, welcome back to Dorker Realms. I believe we left off last time having just killed some eels that fell from some quote-unquote trees onto all of my teammates. Right. And then they were like, oh, let us play with these eels. And Razor was like, oh, this eel's my nemesis. I can't kill him. He's too powerful.
Were they eels or were they like lampreys? Because they definitely bit and sucked.
They were eels.
They did bite and they did suck.
They were angry eels. And Petra was like, this one is my pet.
Oh, Lucille, the eel.
Because I commanded it to help me out.
To betray.
Yes.
All right, so I guess we continue onward through this quote-unquote forest.
You make your way through the rest of the forest rather uneventfully, moving perhaps a bit slower to not rustle any of the tree branches this time. You never know what's up there in the fetid darkness of this soggy, damp forest.
Next time it could be a bunch of crabs.
As you emerge from the forest back into daylight with the spongy ground squelching underneath your feet, you can see directly ahead of you to the north, small distance away, you can see a white mound the size of a transit van, as long as two parked back to back. And to the west of you...
I like how that's supposed to be a evocative image, and I'm just like, what the fuck is a transit van?
I was more like... Wait, are we out of setting now?
Weird reference.
That's the description you get.
All right.
Okay.
That's what the book says. That's what you get.
Okay.
So, are transit vans like the sliding door ones that have 3 rows of seats, or...
To the west.
Tweet at us. Let us know.
Yes, please.
We definitely will not Google it between then and now.
To the west, you can see that the river that once ran here and then was blocked off to form a lake and is now a river again, still runs, churning wildly as it heads towards the dam and drains out of it. But on the other side of that river, roughly parallel to your position on the eastern side of the river, you can see movement, somewhat small but humanoid figures that they're kind of milling around, and you think there's roughly 100 or so of them. There's quite a large group that's gathered, and then there's more further to the north, but it's quite in the distance, so you can't quite make it out.
What time of day is it? It was getting towards evening?
It is at this point kind of like middle afternoon / getting into the early evening.
Okay.
Do we want to climb up this this mound before we go look at these things across the river? Because it seems like...
Will climbing on the mound let them see us better?
I mean, there's not really anything blocking
where we
sight,
are now?
Yeah, between the two of you. So
if they're going to see us, they've already seen us.
And the mound might let us get a better view of things.
Well, I also think this might be where... Is this where the smoke's coming from, the mound?
No.
Oh, okay.
That is a further distance ahead. That is what appeared to be a dark castle from the distance when you were standing up on the
Oh, I thought
former
the castle.
riverbank.
I thought the castle in the. I thought there was like a.
There was a hole, I thought.
Yeah, I thought there was like a hole with like steam coming out of it.
Yes, that is correct.
So the castle and that are separate.
The castle is next to that.
Okay, so they're near each other. We're not there yet.
Yes.
I think we should check out the mound.
Is the mound's different material, right? It's not the or the bacterial
Matt.
mat we've been on.
Correct.
All right, yeah. Let's check out the mound. That way, we'll get attacked by the giant like thing that lives inside of that sand.
Okay.
Which sand?
Whatever the mound's made of.
And if not, maybe we can somehow turn it towards the hundreds of small creatures and have them fight each other.
Petra's just assuming these creatures are terrible. Petra's like, let God sort them out.
As you march northward towards the mound, the crowd on the other side of the river kind of parallels your march northward along their side of the river. And as you get closer to the mound, you see that the mound is actually moving, kind of like wriggling and squirming a bit. And as you get closer still, you realize that the mound is actually thousands of small crabs crawling on top of something.
Told you it was crabs.
Crabs again?
What is it with this place and the crabs?
Well, these ones aren't a meter wide.
At least.
What are the
Yet.
do the creatures across the river, are they humanoid?
They are humanoid, yes.
But they're really small?
Yes.
Like halfling small?
Like child small.
Okay.
So, small halflings. No.
It's Turbo Tim's paradise.
Okay. Do we want to try and deal with these crabs, or do we want to just leave it be?
do we need to?
Do they need to be dealt with? They're just kind of crabs in a pile.
Do you want to go out and like try and shoo them away to see what they're on? Because I do.
There might be there's something underneath them, I suppose, but it might just be a big thing they are eating.
I mean, just throw a rock.
Reza, throw a rock.
You got it. I'm going to go into stealth.
Sure.
Yeah.
Stealthy rock throwing.
Okay. So 19 plus my bonuses.
Okay.
So. And then I throw a rock.
All right, so Reza crouches down to the ground and he like slowly creeps, kind of scuttles from side to side as he moves from the back of the group a bit closer to the mound in this completely open terrain. And then he picks up a rock and he tosses it, and the crabs scatter and disappear, revealing the bone and tattered flesh of an enormous pike that is just, its size is unlike anything you've ever seen as far as fish go.
There, see? All you had to do is throw a rock and it's a big damn fish.
Good job, Reza. I want to go and... What's left of the insides of this? Is there...
A stomach, perhaps?
Exactly.
This wouldn't be the first time you've cut open something's stomach.
Not like intact.
I want to poke around in the innards. See what I find.
You're very impressed by the size of the jawbone in particular. I mean, this is about the size of a spear on its own.
The jawbone is the size of a spear?
Sorry, like a pole arm, so like a really big one, not like a little throwing spear.
Hey, Petra,
Yes.
can you cast Identify Magic?
No, I can cast Detect Magic.
It's Chinese Cinderella, guys.
That's what I meant.
It's a magic fish.
Well. All right, Petra will cast Detect Magic.
That's the magic noise. It's a gong.
Whang. All right. Let's see, that will be a plus 5, 19. Oh, wait, where's my friggin' character sheet? Yeah, plus 5, so 19. I don't think I have any other bonuses to casting. Should have cast Bless first, but oh well. I can determine exactly which objects or creatures are magically enchanted within range, which is 30 feet. I can also tell if different... Well,
Your armor is super enchanted.
there's nothing aside from what we're already carrying that is magical.
I'm going to take this jawbone anyway. It looks pretty sweet, right?
Well, it's probably going to smell great tomorrow.
So
You hang out with corpses.
Corpses smell great. They don't usually smell like fish.
This is a corpse.
It's an animal corpse.
It's a fish corpse. It's different. Stinky fish.
So Reza, Petra, and Valerian stand around as Bindel gets like all up into this dead fish and like gets a good grip on its jawbone and like puts his boot on its head and like starts dislocating its jaw and ripping out its jawbone. And he's like, "Look, guys, I got it!" And everyone's like,
I'm telling you, this thing's pretty. I'm telling you, this thing's pretty sweet.
Petra will cast Blessing on the jawbone.
"Sure."
It is now.
You know, you just got to make your adventures whatever the the players want, right? Like this is what they want to do.
All right. I rolled a 17, so plus 5 is a 22. A blessed weapon grants a +1 bonus to all attack and damage rolls, or +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls against unholy creatures. It remains holy for 1 day and is considered magical.
I told you it was a magic jawbone.
It would be, anyways.
I should just like grab a crab and have you bless that, and then I just fight with the live crab. Twin claws.
Want to use my magical jawbone, Reza?
I'm good.
Oh. Well, I guess we'll try talking to those people now. Hello, people across the river. I see you there.
Just so we're clear, that's like half an hour's hike from where you are.
I assume since we
distance-wise.
can see them mirroring us, they were close. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I like the idea though that he still did it.
just shouts it.
And nobody responds.
Oh no, he's talking to him like they're in front of him, and he's doing the little head crushy with his fingers, like I crush your head.
Do we want to go
Wish
talk
you
to
hate.
them? Or do we want to just continue onward?
Maybe I should throw a rock at them. No.
Do we need to cross the river to go where we're going?
It depends where you're going.
Yeah, we could just follow the river parallel to them. They haven't bothered us.
If we're heading towards the castle and the pit with the smoke.
They are on opposite sides of the river.
Yeah.
Which side of the river's the pit on?
The one that they're on.
Damn it.
We should just watch and see what they do. Just observe them.
Well, let's just continue onward then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on them as we go.
To the north, you can see on your side of the river, up ahead of you, maybe half an hour to an hour's hike, there looks like a field of kind of round, spiky shrubs. And then on the other side of the river, kind of at the same northward distance, but, more to the west, you can see a bridge that does not cross the river. It is on the other side of the river entirely.
Damn it.
And the crowd of whatever they are is still kind of like matching pretty much your pace as you're heading to the north. And then further past that, you can see something bridging the river, even beyond the field of spiky shrubs.
So does the bridge go over the spiky shrubs so we wouldn't have to pass through them?
No, that's on the other side of the river.
Okay, so the spiky shrubs aren't all the across the
Correct.
spanning the river. They're
Yes.
just on our side.
They're just on your side. And you could theoretically take time to just circumnavigate it entirely if you don't want to go there. It doesn't cover the whole eastern side of the valley.
You said past the spiky shrubs there is a bridge that crosses the river.
Yes.
So it might be prudent to approach these people before we get to where the bridge is that they could easily attack us across, if we could think they might be hostile.
Approach them how?
Just get to our side of the river so we can actually talk to them, because they're about half an hour's hike away from us currently. We'd get a better look at them, but they'd be on the other side still.
Of course, it could also be better to meet them if we were to meet them on the bridge. Then there would be a limited space, if they were hostile, that they could attack us.
How are they going to attack us, period, right now?
Well, if we have to cross over to observe them or meet them.
We don't. We just have to get to the river so we can talk across the river to them.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
How wide is the
Sure,
river?
Okay.
Like average river width. It's not like a great big.
It's not the
river.
Mississippi.
It's not the Mississippi.
Okay.
It's something you could ford reasonably, but it's also not something.
To the river now, or do we want to try and continue north?
I just don't like the spiky brush, but I mean,
It's just perhaps a good idea to get an idea of what they are at least, so we can be prepared if we need to encounter them later.
We can circumnavigate the brush. Reza. That was stated.
yeah, I was worried.
Well, we can go around it if we have to.
Okay.
Are we going to approach the river now to check these guys out before we get to the bridge?
Petra has agreed that she thinks that's a good idea.
Time for a parlance.
Valerian?
I mean, I wanted to look at the gross spiky bushes, but I don't particularly care as long as we get to keep walking on the squishy ground.
I think we'll get to the gross spiky bushes regardless.
Oh, cool. Yeah, fine.
As you begin to head to the west, they continue heading north. Do you want to kind of try and move
Northwest it?
northwest to try and
Yeah.
match
Yeah,
their
yeah.
pace while heading towards the?
That'll work. They can't move that quick. They have short legs.
So you kind of get to the opposite bank of the river across from where that bridge you saw was.
The one that does not span the river?
Correct.
Yeah.
The one that is on the other side of the river, on their side. And you can see that it is a low bridge of gray, bedraggled stone, and it doesn't seem to cross anything. But there are a few signs that maybe in the past the river took another route. And there is weed, rock, and fallen debris which cover both ends of the bridge. And then in front of the bridge, you see what looks like a formal garden in a checkerboard of squares with white spaces and dark spaces assembled from maybe rocks, wood, and things that fell into the lake. Who knows?
What is populating the garden?
Nothing as far as you can see from over here. You now have a better look at this swarm of creatures that is on the other side of the river, and they look all the world upright walking newts.
Do you think they talk? Hello!
They do not respond to your calls, and they just continue their northward march.
Hey, Reza,
Yeah.
throw a rock.
Nope.
No,
Nope, don't do that.
You're not do it.
You know what? I'll just pick this rock up and I'll put it in my pocket.
Future rock throwing preparations.
Well, those are pretty adorable.
Well, yeah, they're giant newts.
Yeah.
Should we continue then?
From here, you can see that further north past that bridge you can see up ahead, which does span the river, kind of in the path of the newt creatures, you see something that looks kind of like a piled hive with insects shifting around in the pile, frantically working.
I grab my rock.
It is well out of throwing distance.
Okay.
Would it be within bow range?
No.
Oh, well,
This is
outside that too.
more than an hour away.
Oh, this is up ahead, but it's on their side of the river?
Yeah, it's
okay,
directly in the path of where they are marching.
Oh, looks like a battle. We can see them that they're insects, so they're pretty big.
Why don't we continue northward at a hurried pace so that we might be able to intervene in the battle, if we wanted, to perhaps save the newts.
This sounds like a good idea.
Because newts are adorable. And fireproof. And I may or may not have uses for their corpses.
They're fireproof?
Everyone in this age knows newts are fireproof.
Honestly, it's like she doesn't read.
It's common folk knowledge. That's why you see newts come out of your fire all the time.
I do not believe we ever showed this in Russia.
You did. It's very common at this time period to believe newts are fireproof because they nest inside of wet logs. Also, they are actually fire retardant.
Oh,
Okay.
you can't use that word anymore. Bad jokes. 2019.
It's okay.
That may have been me ignorant more than it would necessarily be a Petra ignorant. I didn't know people used to believe that.
Very common.
All right.
And then it turned out to be semi-true. They have a chemical in their skin that...
All right, strike it from the record then, I guess.
No wonder witches use that shit all the time.
Let's continue.
Do you want to continue along the bank of the river towards the bridge that you see up ahead? That path will take you around and away from the field of spiky bushes.
I guess this will be on Valerian since they really wanted to see the spiky bushes.
Well, could we not circumvent but come close to the spiky bushes so that Valerian could inspect them?
I mean, if we're categorizing or cataloging the things that Valerian is interested in, giant newts and big bugs have overtaken spiky bushes.
All right, so I think the answer is yes. We would like to continue along the bank of the river towards the bridge.
All right. Marching in parallel to the newts
Correct.
along the valley floor.
As Ryan said, at a slightly hurried pace to hopefully be able to help if the hive bugs become an issue for the newts.
Danny, are the
Yes?
newts wearing clothes or carrying weapons?
No,
Huh.
they are not.
I kind of suspect they're not actually hyper-intelligent. Maybe the same kind of newt George fought.
They might be fairly early along the evolutionary chain.
You know, about 100 years ago.
Nope.
Ah, Saint George.
Not yet.
Right, of course.
Moving in a slightly hurried pace, you begin to outpace the newts, and you get to the bridge before they reach it, and you discover that this is no man-made bridge. This is a fallen rock, and its bowed wings make a beautiful but alien bridge across the churning water of the river. The body of the giant bird twitches slightly every so often.
Oh, that kind of rock.
Yes. An ROC. Sorry. I definitely should have been more clear on that.
Yeah,
I was just reading.
you were like-
Danny, you really have to pronounce the C versus the CK.
My bad.
Really,
Yeah.
honestly, the wings were not enough of a clue. It really took Vox until you mentioned that it was a giant
yes,
bird.
because the bowed wings could have been a structural description, not
That we didn't
an
understand.
anatomical.
Yeah, 'cause I was
Both of us were confused.
I was like,
I'm just happy because I
What?
was one sentence ahead of you for once.
That's right. See, Robin's in the know.
Sorry, continue.
That was
The
it.
bowed wings.
Well, it's like, not a
It
Big
man-made
dead bird.
bridge.
Yeah.
It's an insect bird bridge. That's
the
flash
still
bridge.
twitches every so often.
So it is.
Hey, Reza.
no.
It is much less decomposed than, say, the large fish that we came across.
Yes.
Well, it's still moving.
Reza.
I'm gonna go talk to the bird.
I just wanted you to throw a rock at the
Nope.
rock.
Nope.
As you get closer to the...
Reza misunderstands the question, tries to pick up the rock.
Can you smell what I'm cooking? All right.
Sorry, Danny.
As you get closer to the air quotes bridge, there's a splash of water as the rock raises its head for a moment out of the water, and kind of gasps and rolls its eyes a little bit in your direction before its head kind of droops again into the water.
Oh no, it's dying.
I take my hand out and go, "Hey there, buddy. Sun's getting real low."
sleep!
So Reza starts giving the rock a mercy drowning.
And I cast sleep.
Oh, I get out of the path of his spell.
Wow, that's all interesting, because Petra was thinking to see if she could try and heal it, but I guess that's not where we're going with this.
I gotta let it die peacefully. There's nothing that can be done for it.
Wait, so when I talked to it, it just kind of faded away?
Yeah, it's still like twitching and every so often like raising its head a little and moving a little bit.
I rolled a nice 25 on my sleep.
Well, I guess.
Kind of hear like a squirming.
Reza, the spell's called sleep, not death.
Kind of hear like a squirming, eating sound from underneath the rock.
Ooh.
Oh, shoot.
Something's
I ready
not
my
happening.
bow, and I try to get an angle to see.
Under the water and under the
Up to
body
8
of the-
targets must save or fall into a normal sleep for 1d7 days, or one target can be placed in a supernatural sleep for 1d3 days with no saving throw. While the normal sleep can be interrupted, the supernatural sleep can only be disrupted via dispel magic or similar cancellation effect. However, I must have a special interruption method for each. So the smell of a burning parchment will be the way that you can wake up the rock
Okay. The rock is now asleep.
for 1d3 days. Do you want me to roll that?
Sure.
It's the spell.
Will it matter? Will it survive 1d3 days?
No.
Probably won't survive 1d3 hours.
1.
1 days. Petra offers to hold on to Ray's belt if he wants to look under the water to see what's maybe gnawing at the rock.
Okay, I stick my head under the water,
Petra holds on to the Ray's belt.
and I investigate.
The Reza.
All right, so Reza dunks his head in the water and tries to get a good look up ahead through the churning, running river water,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
and you can't quite make out what's going on.
You said I could hear the chewing, but I couldn't see the bubbles and the.
Correct.
Damn.
You're nice and wet now, just like the ground underneath you.
This giant rock. Is it possible I could roll the bird?
Well, I've created a very stable bridge for us.
Yeah, I suppose.
Still kind of twitches and shivers every so often.
Which is probably more due to what's eating it.
Don't worry, the sun will dry you out quite quickly. It's beating down quite mercifully. This is the first day of an 8-year drought, after all.
Oh, that's true.
Whoops.
Thanks.
We're not going to be here that long. There's a river. What do you want? Stop it.
We could go to another planet. I don't know. It's happened.
It's only for the region.
Yeah, just because they got a drought doesn't mean they don't have water. Come on.
True.
Come on.
Come on.
There's a river. It'll
What are
be
we doing?
fine.
Are we going to cross this bridge to go intercept the newts?
Are you asking us if we're going to clamber across the body of this giant dead bird in an effort to forge this raging river so that we can go see the naked newts?
No, I'm asking you if you're going to clamber across the body of this dying bird.
And therefore not have to forge the river.
Yeah, I mean, sure, fine, whatever.
Anesthetized. It's a
I mean,
sleeping
if we
bird.
want, we can still try and save the bird. That's not out of the question.
No, I don't care about that.
I don't care about the rock.
I guess the answer is yes. We will be attempting to cross the rock in the hopes of perhaps helping the newts with this hive problem.
The rock bridge?
Let me lead and
Yep.
let me see where, try to avoid where the crunching noises are, because we might be disturbing whatever's feeding on this.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. Take lead. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. You're able to safely cross over the makeshift bridge. Kind of sad as it may be, it is relatively stable for the moment, and you can easily lead your party across. The newt creatures are almost at the other end of the bridge as you are reaching there. And you can see, now that you are much closer, that this, what you thought was a hive, is some kind of construction made mostly out of reeds that seems to have kind of smashed apart when it fell to the bottom of the valley floor. It was probably floating beforehand, and you can see people, not insects, climbing out of the wreckage, trying to pull other friends or possibly family members out from the wreckage.
Normal-sized people?
Yeah, they're humans.
Oh, this is immediately less interesting.
And you see the Newts marching towards the village, and as they're getting closer, you hear panicked shouts coming from the villagers as the 30 or so adults of the village begin to arm themselves to defend their home.
Bindel L. Jensen here. I just need to make a little errata to my previous statement. Salamanders are fireproof.
Yeah.
Salamanders.
Salamanders are definitely far more associated with fire than
Yeah,
humans.
not Eye of Newt.
My bad. Anyway, are we gonna kill these newts now to protect these people? Try and broker a peace?
Well, we can at least go and ask the people if they know these newts to be a threat, which is...
They seem to be reacting as if they do.
The great newt human peace?
Well, humans often react to things that are strange with preparing for violence.
So would asking them be any different?
Sure, if they say, oh, we don't know, but they're coming here, so we're going to fight them, would be different than, yes, they have plagued our village for generations or something.
True.
Do you still have your giant spell?
I mean, I still have a giant spell, yes.
Or can you cast giant spell?
I can still cast giant,
Okay.
yes.
Because you should do like a bro moment where you're like, bro. Just a giant, like, come on, dude, newts. And like, broker peace that way.
Let's talk to the people first.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we will approach these people trying to save themselves from their wreckage.
I feel like, yeah, there's a clamoring.
As you approach, they seem a bit panicked as they're arranging themselves, and they seem a bit wary of you as the kind of the foremost. I wouldn't really call them guards, but armed village
Members of
people,
the militia.
kind of ready their crude weapons in your direction, and one of them steps forward and calls out, "Who goes there?"
I am Bindel L. Johnson, wizard extraordinaire. This is my close associate, Petra of the Cloth, Razor, and Valerian, also a wizard and elf. We've come to ask you if you know these newts, if you need help.
The Capex, they've warred with our village for generations, and now that we're in disarray and exposed, they've come to finish us off.
Ah, well, we can help you fight them.
How did you come to be down here?
Well, our village floated up on the lake, and then when there was a great crashing noise, the lake drained from underneath us and stranded us here, destroying our homes.
This is terrible. These newts have fought you for a long time.
Capex?
Yes.
The Capex.
Why are
They've preyed on our children in our week.
they like to eat you?
Yes.
Ooh. Well, I think that answers Jet.
Hey, you didn't hear it from me, but it's going to be really dry for like a while.
How would you know that?
Huh?
You don't know there's a drought.
Oh, I thought that was information shared.
Valerian didn't say anything.
Oh.
Also, I don't know that Valerian knows.
It's just a thing that's going to happen as a
Oh,
result
okay.
of the spell. I don't think any of us know that.
Oh, okay. I don't know how they work.
Well,
so.
it's a material effect, and like wizards can't control those at all. And sometimes they're random on top of like what they normally do. Like that one has 7 possible results.
Yeah. I just didn't know if it was told by their deity or something.
Nope.
Oh no, oh okay.
We don't know there's going to be a drought. That was just a, hey, guess what? You got a flood and now you got a drought, guys.
Works in mysterious ways.
Surprise.
Like all religions. All right.
I blame anthropogenic climate change.
Oh God, they're upon us! You see
Giant size!
Okay, let's hear.
Are you
let's
casting
hear.
it on yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, can you bless us or?
I'm going. Well,
Oh.
do we have any time to prepare? Will this be an initiative when we're casting these things?
You'll get one pre-initiative round.
All right. Yes,
as-
Petra will bless herself then.
Let's roll initiative as well.
As I roll initiative, I reassure everyone that I'm lawful. I'm just like, you can trust me. I'm a good guy.
13.
Because I don't have anything to prep.
7 for Petra.
13 as well, with my bonus.
Who has the higher?
What is your agility, Paul?
14?
As is mine. What is your favorite color?
You know it's red.
You took too long. Mine's green.
What?
I go first.
What? What?
I rolled a 1.
I have a rock. Rats. Took too long. You didn't say yours either.
I already had it thought of in my head, though.
Yep, that's not the same as verbally.
A turn is, what's 10 minutes? Yeah.
Oh, so I waited like 3 minutes, and you waited the entire 10. You're like, the worst. You're the
Bindel.
Giant size!
Did you just roll a crit?
Yeah, natural
What
20.
the fuck does that do?
100 feet tall for 20 years.
28.
You become so giant
That
that your
doesn't-
head reaches out of the atmosphere and you can't breathe.
None
and
of
you
these
pass
things sound
out,
like benefits.
And you
One-
collapse,
one-
destroying the village.
One breath inhales all the clouds in the world, and everyone just collapses from air pressure drop.
Damn, I'm one off from the 32 plus.
You become the
Should have waited
universe.
until I cast Bless.
This might be better, honestly, for
Okay.
us.
Katamari Damacy. You're that big.
You know what? I don't feel like working hard. You guys do it. Valerian, Reza, and Petra, triple in size. Each receives a +6 to all attacks, damage, and AC due to their larger size, and in addition gain 20 extra health from their new size. These hit points are lost first when the target is wounded and from damage suffered. Will only transfer to their normal health pools if it exceeds 20 points. This will last up to 4 days. You can choose when to end the effect.
You yourself?
Each individual target.
So say I needed to pee really bad as a giant. Everything's like 3 times as much?
Yeah.
How many hit
nice.
points?
20. We're also still under the effect of your shield spell?
Correct.
Okay.
So broke.
You handle it. I did my part.
Well, Petra got a 20, so she now also radiates around her triple-sized self 5-foot aura of +6 to all attack rolls, skill checks, ability checks, saving throws, spell checks.
Cool.
Does that last for 4 days as well?
No, that lasts for a turn.
Are we big enough that we can just step on people?
Oh,
3 times.
definitely.
I don't
So
think so.
We're
No, I
only
don't think so
18
either.
feet
Not
tall.
people, but maybe
Newts.
Yeah, but they're child-sized, so...
I have experience.
So then, yes, we could step on the newts.
I think you could step on them. I don't think it would be like instantly crush them into pulp.
It'd still be like stepping on a toddler.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been there, right?
Yes, it would be
I
like
used to
stepping
work
on
in
a
early
toddler.
childhood development. Yes, I have stepped on toddlers.
Yeah, you know, they just run at you going for a hug, and you're just like,
No.
boot.
That's what it would be like.
yeah.
Exactly.
How's that? Oh, sure. You still got that fish bone, jawbone spear?
Yes.
Maybe I could use that as like a giant like sweeper.
Well, it wouldn't be giant to your current size, but it would be more wieldable than whatever your normal, like, dagger or some shit is.
Yeah.
Wait, don't our items increase with us in size?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
everything you're currently
snap.
holding is increased in size too.
Did we get a damage bonus too, or just an attack bonus?
+6.
6 plus 6,
damn.
baby.
Yeah, just a +12 modifier.
If I'm within,
No, +6 to attack, +6 to damage.
+6 to AC.
And that as well, yes.
+20 to health.
Gotcha.
So, like a 38 modifier.
Well, I thought you also got a +6 modifier from Fox.
Oh, you do get
Yes.
to attack.
because Because when I got blessed before, I had a modifier to my damage as well.
Oh, no, you're right. I do give the bonus to attack and damage rolls. So as long as you're within 5 feet of Petra, yes, you do also have +6 to attack and damage. So that would be a plus.
So I shoot one of my, like, tree-sized arrows, and it penetrates 5 toddlers.
You
Tree
throw a
branch
rock and
size.
it kills a guy.
Oh, I still have my one rock. It's
Which is now a boulder.
Yeah, it's a Resident Evil quick time
Well,
event.
Actually, it's just a really, really big rock now.
It's like
not
a medicine
boulder
ball.
yet.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Next, then.
Technically yours.
Okay. As I tower over the other villagers, I, go to the front, and then I unleash my first arrow.
Sure.
Okay. And I aim for a group of newts. So,
A Newt.
a newt, they don't have a formation?
Well, your arrow will still only hit one. I didn't give you the ability to pierce newts with a single arrow.
Nor the ability to target multiple newts at once.
Oh, I just imagined me throwing a tree and, like, it hitting the ground.
It's only like a tree branch. It's not that much bigger. You're only like 18 feet tall.
Dude, you only times your arrow by 3. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
a
only
goddamn-
fair.
It's not a
18 feet
javelin.
tall.
That's true. It feels like a spear. It's the size of the
Probably
spear.
is about the size of a spear, but if you throw a spear, it's going to hit one guy.
Oh, man. I've been watching too much anime about
Probably.
Vikings. He spears like 3 dudes with one throw. All right. So 11 plus 12, so 23.
You're not a
Plus one.
Viking, so
Yeah, but I'm a big, strong guy. like a
Sorry, you
Viking.
said you moved to the front. That means you're probably not within 5 feet of Petra anymore?
Oh. So then it'd be 17 plus 1. Then 18.
Also, just to note, you'd also got +6 strength, which means your strength modifier is increased, which will also affect your rolls.
Oh. Okay.
Oh. So +6 attack on top of +6 strength.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
dang.
you now have a 19, which will give you a...
+3?
yeah, that's a +3.
Shit.
Okay.
So that also adds to attack and damage rolls with melee.
Correct.
Yeah. But my agility.
Yeehaw,
I'm using
dog.
agility right now, so.
Also correct.
Yeah. All right.
You hit.
It's okay, I hit. And then, jeez. So it's +3 from damage, and then is it +6 too to damage?
+6 from, yes, from being larger. And then what has your strength been increased to?
He's
no.
shooting an arrow.
Oh, yeah, it's only
okay.
+1, so it'd be +7. Yeah. thanks.
Okay.
All right. I think it's 1d. It's been a while. 1d6. Okay. So round that. So 3 plus 7. So it's 10.
Much like Sir Daniel Fortescue, you cut down one newt as they all charge into you.
All
The
right.
first to fall in battle.
And then I hold my hands out and I'm just like
99 more to go.
thank you for name dropping one of my absolute favorite video games of all time.
You're very welcome.
Which one was
We have
that?
to
Brought
wait
to
for
you
the
by
drag
Formula
racing to go
One.
by.
Medieval.
Okay, I thought so.
the newts got too fast, too furious.
Sir Daniel Fortescue, or as he calls himself.
Is he unable
It's
to-
hard to talk without a bottom jaw.
Yeah.
Oh, right. 'Cause he's a
That pike would
skeleton.
know.
That pike is dead. It's also hard to talk when you're dead. Wait, that's also something Sir Daniel Fortescue would know.
Okay, well, now that the drag racing's over, I believe it's...
Valerian's turn.
Valerian, just to be clear, if you blow me up after I gave you the gift of giant size, I'll be
Valerian
very upset.
reaches behind his back and pulls out his scythe.
Oh, yeah. That would be pretty good.
So he's not casting Scorching Ray?
No. I was maybe going to do color spray, but
Oh, that's not a bad one either.
Yes, that way it'll hit you and him.
yes, exactly. It would definitely hit Reza because he's in front of me.
Oh, yeah, right.
Also, you're giant, so, like, even a part of the cone hits you.
Well, yeah, but if we're, like, right next to each other.
Yeah, sure, but...
Basically, for color spray, you would have to be behind me to not be hit.
Oh, it's not a cone?
I think it depends on how well
Depends.
you roll.
Oh, okay.
So to fight with a weapon, I roll a d20 plus.
Your strength modifier, which is being increased by 6. So what's your base strength?
So it's being increased by 5 because I have a -1.
No. What's your strength?
8.
So that would make it a 14, which is a
+1.
+1.
Well, that'd be a 6.
Which,
But then you add 6 because of being a giant size,
So 12,
and then you add +1 from the modifier now.
13.
All right.
You hit.
nice.
And then you're doing that damage +6. Or no, +7.
Yeah.
10.
You cut down the second Newt. Now, I don't think any of us want to sit here and
Do this
kill-
for hundreds of newts.
Yeah, for literally 100 newts. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna ask you guys some questions about how you behave, and then I'll probably roll out a number of attacks on you, none of which will probably hit, but there might be a crit in there somewhere. So the Capex are charging the village, and they don't all want to focus on just the 3 giant folks. Do you kind of want to try and position yourselves so that they have to attack all of you?
And as much as we can, we would like to block off the villagers from the rushing Capex, yes.
All right, so I'm thinking I'll roll 10 attacks on each of you guys.
Okay.
And then we'll fast forward through the battle, unless Bindel wanted to cast some crazy magic. So maybe I'll roll 3 attacks each, and then you can cast something if you want, and then I'll
Sleep.
roll more, and we can just skip the...
Yeah, I mean, I would just be casting probably sleep throughout, so it may or may not make a big difference.
These Capex, I don't imagine, count as unholy creatures.
No.
Okay.
Look,
I didn't
they're
think so.
downright adorable.
I mean-
they've got murder and hatred blazing in their adorable little beady eyes, but they're still really cute, okay? All right. Okay. Let's start with Petra.
All right.
How's a 19 sound?
No.
Oh, crit! On the second roll.
Wow.
Get through that armor.
All right. I'm gonna roll all the attacks and tally how many
Sure.
hit, and then
Sure.
we'll do. So that's 2. Number 3 is a miss. Number 4 is a miss. Miss 5. Miss 6. Crit 20. Or crit 7. So number 8.
You got 20 HP. You got a nice buffer.
9. Number 10. All right. So Petra gets 2 crits on her.
Are they getting their extra damage, or because they have no chance of hitting without a crit, does it... I don't know.
They still get the crit effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What is Valerian's total AC?
19.
No, you have whatever's written there plus an additional 6.
Because the shield.
15.
Okay.
No.
What?
19 plus an additional 6.
So
I have +8 from something before, but I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Yeah, that's
The
the shield.
shield.
So you have
That +6 for being...
your 19 should already be with the shield.
So then it's...
25.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's 25.
Okay. Miss 1, miss 2, miss 3, miss 4, miss 5, miss 6, miss 7, miss 8, miss 9,
Miscongeniality.
and 1 crit.
They're averaging pretty well.
1 out of 10? That's better
Well,
than...
3 crits out of 20.
Oh, yeah, so far, that's a good point.
Reza, miss 1, miss 2, miss 3, miss 4, miss 5, miss 6, miss 7, miss 8, miss 9, miss 10.
I slide left to right like One Punch Man during the exams. Just
You have been watching too much anime.
I know.
This podcast could be brought to you by
Crunchyroll.
Funimation.
Crunchyroll.
Are you
Crunchyroll.
watching?
or that other one. I think it starts with a V.
Verve?
Did that go out of business?
Or High Dive. If any of those 3 would like to sponsor us, let us know.
You
Yeah,
can
we'll
watch
take
Harmon
any
Quest
of them.
on.
I'll even stop pirating my anime to sponsor you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now that's This is taking a little far, don't you think?
Hey, Robin, we will all stop pirating anime if they sponsor us.
We will all stop pirating anime if they sponsor us.
They'd give us an account.
An account. There's 5 people here.
We'll share it.
We can share it.
Have you had HBO Go? That's like a county's worth of people have one account. So it's an accounty.
You do know that if you
Wow.
log in for more than 2 IP addresses, they block your account, right?
Then we'll drop the sponsorship.
That would be the greatest Ip Man ever.
I mean, we could probably negotiate that they could give each person involved an account. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you need one if Robin has one?
All right, fair point. Fair point.
Can't we just
we
like
can negotiate this down.
Yes.
blame it on the VPN? Just be like, oh yeah, it's
Just give us 2 accounts and we'll share those amongst all of us.
All right, let's see what these clawy little capex
Oh, yeah, that would
can
work.
do to Petra.
Good point.
And also one to Valerian.
Yes, crit number 1. So this appropriately smashes Petra's kneecap,
Oh,
and her movement is cut by half.
Ooh.
that's adorable.
And the attack does just a lot of additional damage.
Wow.
the heck.
So that's 6 points of damage.
Are they poisonous?
It's
Or
the Iron
venomous?
Is it
Fist.
just like whipping it with its tail or smashing it with its fist?
It like
2 other
It-
ones grabbed it and threw it, and it flew at your knee Superman style.
it like ran along and like jumped, and it bounced off the back of one of its fallen Capic comrades, and just like Falcon punched you right in the kneecap.
Run up my back and launch me into the air.
Lizard punched.
For the second one,
Sorry, amphibian punched.
it is a blow to Petra's shield arm, which has no special effect since Petra has a shield. But it still does 4 damage.
I like the idea that they sound like Yoshis.
What sound do the Yoshis make as they're dying?
No,
That's the sound you hear the most.
they sing that song in Yoshi's Island.
For Valerian, one of them leaps up and strikes him in his fragile chest, breaking a few ribs.
Oh, jeez.
It didn't de-age you. It
That's
just made you
right.
giant.
That's right.
What the fuck? Do they have a trebuchet they're launching themselves from that we haven't seen?
No, they just like joined. 3 of them joined hands, and one jumped up, and they like threw it up into the air.
Real hard, I guess.
Well, keep in mind, you're still...
To get your chest,
Did you
that's
ever
only
see
going to be like 10 or 12 feet.
You ever see Final Fantasy Advent Children?
Yes.
Where the
Oh,
Yeah.
they keep swinging each other up.
They keep throwing.
But they're
him,
all
like,
wearing bad wigs and
50
bad
feet.
cosplay to represent each Final Fantasy character.
2 damage.
in your fragile ribs.
It did extra damage.
okay.
An extra dice, and both those dice rolled ones.
also you guys removed 2 damage from each of those, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You didn't. You took no damage. You have a shield.
Magic
Your
shield.
rib's still broken, though, somehow.
Jeez, the 1-inch punch.
What kind of food do they have to eat to be able to beat Valerian this badly?
People.
I mean,
Covered that.
this has been established.
You might say it was...
Why didn't he eat
nutritious?
people though?
An hour of fighting later, the sun is starting to set on the battlefield as countless Capic corpses slowly rot into the bacterial mat.
And our knees and shins are covered in gore.
They are indeed, as the villagers of the reeds drop their weapons and they crowd around you and they reach out to gently lay their hands upon you. Our heroes!
I'm still
Our
punching
gods.
one of the newts.
Excuse me.
Binjal
You too, wise man and herald of
foremost.
the gods.
I made them.
You're the creator of the gods?
No,
Yes,
That's-
I am the reason they're so massive and powerful.
You did not create the
I-
god, though.
I wish we could offer you and your fellow gods a tribute for saving us this day. You and your children are always welcome among us, O mighty Savior.
Excellent. Bindel L. Johnson.
Bindel L. Johnson. the guardian of our village,
Excellent.
the one true God,
Yes, that is true.
creator of the world.
Dindel, don't you worship something?
You're kind of laying it on real thick.
I'm not comfortable
And what is
with
your
this.
name, mighty brawler of the gods?
Only kind of sort.
I am Reza, the lawful.
Something I worship.
Razor the lawful.
I put the awful in lawful.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The
There-
guardian deity of all laws.
There are untruths.
Valerian reaches out and just touches Petra's arm and shakes his head.
There are untruths and there
Let
are
him,
untruths.
let him just have one thing, Petra. Come on. How often does Reza get stuff?
And Petra, the creator of
Petra the Denier.
Petra is in fact going to use this moment to use food of the gods and create a bunch of food for these
There we go.
villagers.
A gray paste with no flavor.
Hey, it's probably better than the nothing they currently have.
You mean salamander slurry?
Oh yeah.
Hey, they can mix them together.
You eat my children, I'll eat you.
So how good are these salamanders?
Crud, where's my...
What?
They're
If
probably
we roast them, how good are they?
No, they're
We've never eaten Capac before.
Well, start up the fires. We're gonna
As
do
you
some.
command, Lord Bindel.
We're gonna do some experimenting tonight.
what? oh.
Allow me to introduce to you my daughter.
Oh,
How very nice.
Oh, no.
Does she read?
What is reading, my lord?
Oh, we have a lot of work to do.
Oh boy. Petra creates enough food for 25 people on the first go.
Well, we found out where my school's going to be.
If we can do it, maybe in that castle.
Excellent.
The bountiful Petra, mother goddess of the earth, who grants to us this blessing of food.
Yes,
if-
one of the
if
true
he's-
gods.
I'm not...
Even more so than the optical god.
The what?
Oh yeah, right. We're like 40 miles upriver. There's no way they'll know about that.
I'm not deity. I need not worship. Just to provide for you to help is good enough.
I understand. You are Bindel's daughter. He is
No.
a god, and you are a demigod.
Ah, you don't look it. You have a helmet on.
also, you never take your clothes off, so your skin's probably really nice.
Or really gross.
No, it's probably really nice because it never gets exposed to the sun.
Actually, probably true.
Yeah, but
it's
what ab-
probably also like rashed.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Ah, she's got like magic healing powers. I don't think she deals with rashes.
She's late.
Anyway,
She can cure her skin condition.
I
yeah.
say we stay the night here since we found somewhere relatively safe.
This is good.
I don't like
think.
losing the shield, but it's getting dark anyway.
I never choose to shrink. I ride this out to the end.
Like, Petra's kind of on board with that, too.
I am Octun Grange, the elder of this village.
I like the visual of like 3 giants crouching and having this very loud conversation with this little village.
I would offer you my home for the night,
But it's too small.
yes, you would not fit.
I'll take the couch.
The what?
I'll sleep in the front room. I don't need your bed.
It's
You
all
are,
destroyed.
you are too kind, my lord. I can't have a god sleep in the front of the house. Please, you must take my comfortable reed bed.
Well, if you insist.
Do you know aught about the castle up to the north?
Castle.
Oh, no, that would have
don't.
been underwater when they were still aboard, would it not?
Almost certainly.
Apologies. Perhaps tomorrow there were those trees. We could perhaps maybe cut some down to give them more wood to rebuild their village?
I think that'd be pretty easy for you.
Yes.
I'd just like to point out that there's no way in hell that those trees would provide good firewood. Or like a good
Or even
structural
building wood?
wood.
Oh, okay.
Because
Well,
they've
they were-
been like rotting under
Yeah,
the ocean for God knows how long.
All right, then maybe we can just make plans to explore that castle, and if we can clear it out, that can be the place where they live and your school begins.
I mean, also, if we see trees in the distance, you guys probably move a hell of a lot faster than normal right now.
Oh, shit, that's
Can I pick up that bird?
Oh, probably not. Rocks are pretty big, right?
3 giants might be able to.
That's a good point.
You couldn't pick it up by yourself. You could theoretically like grab its wing and drag it.
Could the 3 of us carry it?
Yes.
Okay. You want to try?
Not particularly.
Okay.
Do it. I have an idea.
Okay.
What's your idea?
If it's still alive, we can have Petra heal it.
And then eat it. Yeah.
No. Heal it and then what?
When it wakes up, they'll think that, well, actually, you know what? I don't like this idea anymore. I was half-baked at best. I'm done.
Okay. It's certainly, by the time we get to it, it's certainly been long enough it will almost certainly have drowned.
Can I just roll it over?
I think its head was above water.
Well, it was constantly like lifting it above water and like gasping, right? Or was it always, the head always above water?
The head sometimes fell beneath the water. and
Oh,
then,
it's probably dead.
So when it was put to sleep, the head sank beneath the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did it.
Yeah.
How much EXP do I get for killing the rock?
Well, you see, in Dungeon Crawl Classics, they recommend that the amount of experience you get is based on the difficulty of the encounter, so nothing.
I still roll it over just to see.
Oh, does that
what
mean we get
happened.
nothing from the newts, even though they would have been hard if I didn't giant size us?
You'll probably get something very small.
I need to stop helping. Just let you guys nearly die every combat.
When Reza gets back to the rock, it is blasting around the corner in a fucking like sleek ass.
It's wearing sunglasses.
It's got spoilers coming off its tail feathers.
It's got a rockadoo hillbilly or rockabilly haircut.
It is noticeably like smaller and kind of like sunken in and like kind of drooping into the river, and it's not moving at all. And as you like flip it over and it comes flopping out of the water, there's big fat swollen leeches attached to the underside of its body, having now bled the rock dry.
Okay, and then I just leave.
All right.
I mean, there's nothing to do with that.
Not really.
Flip it over again.
I mean, if we wanted to remove the leeches, we could bring the rock carcass to the people so they could maybe have more food, but...
We have hundreds of newts to eat.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough.
They're delicious.
Also, like, it's been bled dry, right? Like, I don't know. And it's been floating in the river. It'd
Yes,
be
but
gross.
I don't know about floating in the river, but you bleed an animal dry in order to eat it.
Not by leech. I mean, I don't know. Plus, you would hang it, right? For several days. Like
Depending, unless
fowl.
you're cooking it immediately. This is irrelevant. I think we're not dragging its corpse to the village, so...
The people of the village have dragged several of the Kapek bodies over to the site of where they're attempting to create a bonfire, but having a little bit of trouble
So,
doing so.
Scorching.
Vindel, how bad are you going to feel these things are poisonous and these people are eating them?
My mold compass is pretty flexible.
All right. Just
It's
checking.
mostly about knowledge, so really, in pursuit of that, we learned something.
All right.
We can always test, and if they get sick, I can perhaps help.
I don't care. I was asking if Vindel cared.
I find it to be a positive. Hey, we stay the night.
It is starting to get dark, and they have not yet succeeded in starting a fire, given how literally everything is wet and damp, and they have no dry material or anything for starting a fire.
So-
but they're really doing their best.
Do you want to help them out there,
No.
please?
No. If I roll well, everyone will die.
Why don't you go outside of the town a little ways, light a branch on fire, and then walk back with that?
I guess he could try that. He got scolded so roundly last time.
So is it because they don't have good material to
It's
light
because
on fire?
everything's wet.
Right.
It is both that, and they don't have any like tools for
'Cause, like-
starting a fire.
Petra has a tinderbox, so we can get that part covered. But if we're looking for more material with which to try and start a fire...
A tinderbox won't light a wet thing.
Yeah, I know. That's point 2. Now, the sides of this valley, where the lake used to be, are like hundreds of feet tall, right?
Correct.
You're overly complicating this.
Right.
Just let Valerian go light the thing and then come back with it.
Okay. All right.
So Valerian's going to go a fair distance from the camp, I guess.
I think it's kind of a town, but it like fell to the ground.
The kind of town, the half-destroyed town.
Improvised reed tower.
Enjoying how
Structure.
much I imagine the ground seems and sounds much more gross when you can squish way more of it with your feet at a time.
Oh, get your shoes off and just
Oh.
squish barefoot.
He doesn't
through
wear
the back
shoes.
Oh. Valerian might be having fun, but athlete's foot is no joke, and he's definitely getting it.
He pees on his feet. It's fine.
Okay, he's good.
And then he's gonna find something like a fallen tree or some kind of, thing that.
Some driftwood.
Sure.
Yeah.
And cast Scorching Ray.
So you
Okay.
super light that
Yay!
on fire.
Awesome. And then I carefully bring it back, like holding one hand in front of it like you would with a candle.
The villagers cheer as Valerian, god of fire, returns to the village.
Valerian Firebringer.
I mean, I could have done too, but I'd have to call Prometheus and,
Do like divine aid or whatever.
patron bug.
So, yeah, he helps them build up the bonfire so that it'll go for a while.
They get a good fire going with Valerian's help, and they toss some capex on the fire, and they regale you with local stories and tales from their history and some
I'm sure Bendel L.
songs.
Johnson is paying great attention.
For a while, until it's bedtime, whenever that is,
many
when Petra tells me.
many sons and daughters are offered to accompany the gods while they're there in the village, even hideous old Valerian.
No. Absolutely not.
And
Can you read? I'll teach you how to read eventually.
So what am I looking at? Like, come on. Like,
Yes, Reza the Lawful.
Huh?
Also, you're way too big right now.
No, I'm not.
Oh dear God.
Not for what I'm into.
Oh dear
I just
gods.
want to have a conversation. That's
Boy,
all.
that is a cis male answer if I've ever heard one.
I'm not too big. Whoever said that?
you do notice that
If
to
somebody
the
said
north-
you were too big, your response wouldn't be, yes, I am.
You do notice during the festivities that to the north of the village, in the direction of the pit, you notice some lights, kind of like some white lights, maybe a half an hour to an hour's way away, kind of waving across the...
Oh, gods, we have a calling. Let's go!
We're just leaving. We're not going to sleep.
Nope, we got things to do. Places to be. You notice those flashing lights over there?
Yes.
We're checking them out.
We're not sleeping.
Well, they could be a threat to the town, so yes, we must go.
We'll sleep after that. It's only half an hour walk. Also, someone get me on your shoulder. I'm not walking all that way. It's like
Valerian's already
really-
carrying Pothos.
really
so.
short for you guys. I mean, come on.
Petra will definitely let Bindel right on her shoulder or something.
Yes.
You got,
I'm your conscience.
you're a fish wizard.
Bindel, I don't think you are a very good conscience.
Well, he's the devil on the left side, right?
I don't know that I would think Bindel is that bad.
Put me on your right side.
No.
As you
Bindel is the conscience of morally questionable ideas. Not one good, bad, or the other necessarily. Sorry.
As you reach the source of the lights, you discover that they are coming from luminescent anemone, pulsing and waving, and they are growing upon the arms and upheld blades of a drowned army, kind of incorporated into the bacterial mat. Their bony, skeletonized arms poking up and outward, pointing up towards the starry sky, with the anemone growing all over them, and slowly dying here in the...
This might be
Exposed air.
the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
It does have a certain charm to it.
Yeah, it's a circle of life. It's beautiful.
Is the anemone making noises?
Do anemone normally make
No.
noises?
Well,
I
they're
don't think
underwater,
so.
but outside I
No.
could imagine like
I mean, if
Not really.
if you,
squirting noises or
if you
something.
lean up real close, you might
It
hear
might
their
eat
little
me.
tendrils
Or like a
squirchling,
sucking
but-
sound
but-
from
Yeah,
sticking
yeah.
to the... Probably
A
not,
little
though.
suck.
Like I said, I'm not that
With two
big.
C's?
Yeah, with two C's.
Well,
Which is what Reza gave up when he left the village to
Yep.
come check out.
I
these.
was more concerned that these might be people or something, but I guess we can go back in the morrow.
They were people.
I guess we can come back on the morrow.
There's no loot in that dead army.
There might be on the morrow when we can see better.
Okay. Okay.
You'll still be giant. You can come back tomorrow.
Giant, glowy, an enemy not giving us enough light. All right.
So we'll crash for the night in the
Yes.
village.
All right.
Oh, wait. Is it kind of like black light like colors? Can I like paint some of the enemy on my body?
If you wanted to...
Yes, do it. Do it.
No.
it.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I
I'm
don't.
saying you should do it.
No, it's fine.
Anemones tend to paralyze their prey as they eat them. Their
Oh.
their
They're
little
very
tendrils.
poisonous.
Oh, I didn't know
Have
that.
neurotoxins.
I've always just looked at them. I never like
Well,
touched one.
That's probably good, and that's probably why you didn't know.
Well, it's also like normal anemone size. Humans can touch them without a problem, but the kind of fish that they would eat are small enough that it would paralyze
okay.
them.
All right.
Paint yourself with it.
Good
Well,
joke.
yeah, just clownfish that shit. You can become immune to
Zap,
it.
zap, zap.
If I remain erect for longer than 4 hours, please call a physician. All right.
So sleep.
You mean you want Petra to check it out after 4 hours?
No.
Closest thing to a physician we have.
A physician?
Hey, at least she's got a tool that can remove anything that needs to be.
Ouch.
Ream, ream.
No. Gah.
Begin by making a small circumcision.
Rolling initiative.
We sleep for the night. I don't know where you guys are sleeping, but I'm sleeping in the mayor's bed, apparently.
The chief's bed.
The elder's
chief's
bed.
bed.
Petra's just gonna pull up as wherever there's enough riverbed to sleep on.
Yeah, same.
I'm going to make a bed out of the
Actually-
dead Capek.
No, he's not going to lay overnight on the bacterial mat.
Why not?
He's gonna look for some stone type rocks, not bird type rocks, or fallen like logs and things, and make a bed upon which to lay. Nothing complicated, just like a mat.
You're probably fine. You're in full plate.
Probably, but there's still some of her that's exposed.
Isn't there?
Her face,
That's in a helmet.
maybe.
Yeah, we never established if it was like a visor that flips or.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Anyways, and it's probably not even like a full plate helmet. It's probably like a chain
Like a
cap.
It was a full plate armor set, so I think so.
It'd be like a bucket.
Yeah, probably.
Was it a full plate helmet as well?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you're Darth Vader.
Yeah. Well, it's not like she can remove it.
Yeah. I like to think it's one of the ones with like the
bird?
the bird visor.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. Oh, where it claps open.
Yeah.
Climbs
So you
open.
can
That's
like
pretty
raise
good.
it, but then it like if you're not holding it, it just
Slides back. Petra would just try to like drag some reeds or something to create a mat upon which to lay.
Make a bed out of some of the fallen, crushed homes.
No, that would be in pretty poor taste.
You can get some spare reed to make yourself a little mattress. The night passes peacefully enough, although there is a chilling damp down here on the valley floor, so close to the bacterial mat that makes everyone but Valerian's skin crawl a little bit.
Oh, it makes his skin crawl. He just likes it.
And you awake the next morning. Time check?
It's been an hour and 21 minutes, but we did
keep going
fuck
for-
about.
just a little bit.
Okay.
Like basically until he describes the next area pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll look at it a little bit.
Yeah, go a little longer.
All right. It is now morning. The villagers are preparing you a breakfast of Capek steak. It's not the best thing you've ever eaten, but,
Probably not the worst.
definitely not the worst for some of you.
Is it more palatable than the food paste that
Yes.
Petra summons?
Probably.
Okay, then we're at a slight upgrade, so that's something.
We eat quickly and then move onward.
You see now.
Oh, sorry. Petra asks if Bindel would like a blessing to try and max his casting of a shield, perhaps at the beginning of this day, or do you want to wait until an encounter where,
I mean, we can try it if you want.
just to see how it goes? See if we
Sure.
can- Okay. In a bit, Petra will bless Bindel for, say, 21. So that will give you a +2. Wait. Yes. +2 to all attack rolls.
Doesn't it work better if you bless yourself and I'm near you?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Okay, I'll do that. Yep, you're right, +7. 5-foot aura.
Okay. So I cast shield. That is a 29, yes. I don't think that's enough,
For the whole day effect.
which means I will just cast it again with a +4.
With an additional +4?
That's a 30. That would give us a battalion of shields for 2 hours. Let's try it one more time.
Okay.
That's the same roll. One more time. Okay. That is a
33.
33. So that gives us the next day, shield till the next day.
Nice. So that's the same +8 and the -2 damage and -20 range.
It's the same shield we had last time.
Nice. That worked out well. Yeah, teamwork.
I mean, I'm happy that it worked. I also feel like continuing to do this means the module's pretty easy from here on out, unfortunately.
Well, I guess we don't have to do it.
I mean, it's fine. Like I said, you're right. This is really good teamwork, and we're definitely playing optimally, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the proper way to play.
Okay.
So we continue northward?
Oh, we don't look at the.
Oh, sorry. What were you? Yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to tell you what you see around you now.
Yes, please.
So, not far past the field of anemone and the sunken army, you can see the pit yawning just beyond that. On the other side of the river, about the same amount northward, but much further to the east. Well, not much further, maybe like an hour and a half. You can see the twisted spires of the dark castle. And just before that, on the eastern bank of the river, you can see what appears to be a village of golden houses. And right around this part of the valley where you are now is where, far up above where the edge of the lake was before, is where those little carvings you saw before were.
Okay.
You see the occasional glitter of light from there.
Okay, so I was thinking about that the other night. Not in a game, obviously. Now that we're here, you're already giant-sized.
Yeah.
Valerian could spider climb one of you, and you could just go up.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
I technically can't spider climb other people.
Okay, well, you could spider climb yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Reza can climb.
That too, but spider climb would make it so your hands are completely free. So if it's, you could do whatever. But yeah, if we want to check that out, this is a good time
Yeah,
to do it.
that's a good idea. I had completely forgot about that spell.
Yeah. So I guess we'll head towards that glimmering, the part of the wall. How far are we from the wall?
Did we see it on both sides of the river or just on the east side?
Both sides.
So we could explore it on this side.
Yeah, easily. I'm just wondering how far out of the way it is.
Not very. You're basically at the wall, but it
Okay.
is like over 100 feet
Yeah,
up.
that's
so
which
it's
is
gonna
why-
take a while to climb up there.
You just jump and then you grab onto the wall because, you get a good... That's like half the distance with the jump.
And it wouldn't take as long to climb since I'm giant, right?
18 feet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was a joke.
So
Yeah, yes, you need a spider, or a spider.
And if Petra should still have her blessing going,
Yes.
so you should have that bonus to spellcasting to cast your spider climb.
+7.
Reza does think back on what it was like to be a spider.
What?
When he got spider climb.
Yeah, he got real fucked up.
What are you
He got,
talking
like,
about?
super spidered.
Oh, yeah,
Great.
that's right.
I had a top hat randomly.
Stop eating them. Yeah.
All right, come on. Cough it up. There's some more on you.
Oof. It's plus what?
Plus 7 from Petra.
Plus whatever your modifiers are, level plus int. What was your base roll?
7, but that becomes
Okay.
a 19.
Okay, cool.
Dang. Boosted.
The caster gains the actual climbing ability of a spider. As long as his hands and feet are bare, he can go upside down, climb completely vertical surfaces with no handholds, move across spider webs, and even scurry along upside down at obtuse angles. The caster moves at his normal speed and need never make climb checks. He is immune to spiderweb spells. The caster's hands and feet must remain bare, and items weighing less than 5 pounds stick to his hands during this time, making spellcasting impossible for the duration.
What is the duration?
3 turns.
30 minutes. Nice. That should do you.
4 extra spider-like limbs sprout from the caster's torso.
Also, do you have a mercurial effect on that? Are you going to make another drought?
Huh?
Are you going to make another drought?
I don't know. It says MC 92.
That's also really good.
Inferring that the drought is a really good thing?
Yes.
Well, we all know what this is going to be. Just another nightmare.
You summon demonic rats that attack our enemies,
Oh.
There aren't enemies, so
so they'll disappear.
demonic rats come spilling out of me as I sprout 4 additional limbs and then begin climbing a vertical surface.
Bindale does it all the time.
Sure.
But I hand Pothos off to Petra for safekeeping, and then make my climb.
So you spend a while climbing up the 100-foot tall side of the valley up to...
Like 2 rounds, right?
So when you get to the source that you... or one of the sources, the nearest one you find, where you would occasionally see a little glimmer of light, you realize that, carved into the rock here, about 20 feet wide and 9 feet tall, the natural rock there has been cut and polished smooth, and there's a slight curve to this whole thing, and there's a little depression in front of it, and there's a little bit of like ash and petrified wood inside that depression.
And that's all I see as I climb up?
That's all you see when you investigate that source of little glimmering light. You could look at another one if you wanted to, because there are many little sources.
I mean, do I pass more of them on my way up?
No, this is the first one you reach, because they're all above where the water line used to be.
And they're all at about the same level. Along the wall.
And there's no way, pardon me for if I didn't understand the explanation of the terrain, can he get to the top of this wall?
You are at the top.
I'm at the top. What do I see on the other side?
Like at this...
Well, it's not really a wall. It's like a natural cliff, because this is...
So it's like a
what
sheer
used to-
cliff face.
Yeah, this was a valley, and then they built the dam, and it became a lake. And so you've climbed back up to where you were before when you were at the dam. Mm-hmm. So you just see like the natural countryside terrain all around you.
The other side of the dam.
Yeah.
Okay. How long did it take me to climb up?
2 turns.
No,
Oh, no? Oh.
not 20 minutes.
Oh. Okay.
Couple of rounds.
Rounds.
So, like,
Yeah.
less than a minute.
Okay, so then I can climb back down safely. Can I take a slightly, walk along the wall and take a slightly different route down so I can examine another one of the indents?
Sure.
I do that.
It is almost identical. It is not exactly identical, because clearly this was made by ancient people, so they weren't able to absolutely identically replicate their work, but it is the same kind of principle, about 20 feet wide, about 9 feet long. There's actually some brick that was built here and then smoothed with polished clay, and just like the previous one, it curves slightly, and there's a depression in front of it that also holds some ash and some petrified wood.
Petrified wood or already burned wood?
Petrified wood is like it was burned a long, long, long time ago, and
Okay.
it's like almost fossilized.
Okay. That's what I was trying to clarify. Okay, then he climbs the rest of the way down and reports what he saw.
So what was the glinting? The rock?
Probably the polished rock, just catching the light. Seems like maybe burial places, since we saw, other signs of mummification.
Oh, like in the dam?
I assume this is all built by the same person, yes.
It could be some kind of guardian watchers of the flesh or something like
I mean, it doesn't seem like anything worth messing with or looting.
Certainly.
Well, I guess we'll continue northward and check out the where the anemones were in the daylight.
Sure. During the day, the anemones themselves are all like folded up and closed off, and they just look like little buds growing on the blades and bones of the drowned army.
I assume these blades are like rusted, right?
Extremely so, yes.
Well, they're covered in it, so.
Got some barnacles on them.
Okay.
Nothing else of note here.
Not here.
Well,
Do you want me to do a magic scan?
if you feel that's a good idea.
I mean, to continue northward, would we pass by these, or would we, like, walk amongst them?
You would, like, walk through the
All right.
field, and then you would get to the pit pretty soon after
Yeah,
that.
Petra will just do a detect magic just in case, like, one of them happened to be carrying a magic weapon or something like that.
Or they're all enchanted and attack us when we move through them.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. An even better reason to try and detect that. Like, necromancy would show up, right?
I think you guys can handle it.
Okay, that's a pretty good roll. Detect magic. Oh, detect. I don't have detect evil. 18 plus 5 is 23. So, in addition to detecting objects and creatures that are magically enchanted, the spell reveals creatures of non-mortal origin.
Valerian is totally not of mortal origin, because he's an elf.
I gasp, I am surprised. Okay. Well, then that lasts for 2 turns, so that'll be on for about 20 minutes.
I guess we pass through into the pit
Towards
that we
the pit,
saw
yes.
smoke coming out of.
All right, you march up to this this pit. Is a huge earth wound with regular stepped sides, the work of timeless legions or of gods. The steam that made the pillar in the sky visible from Caramore is fading and abating now. Around the pit edge are 8 stone towers, the wooden stairs inside of which are long rotted away. The bronze mirrors on the tops are still visible, though caked over, and they are all aligned facing the pit itself, and a ramp of earth gives easy access to its sinking levels.
Within the pit?
What a mystery. Something we'll explore next time on Dorker Realms. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you enjoyed this, please leave an iTunes review. It really helps us out. And we'll see you next time.
That does it for today's episode of Dorker Realms. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly of all, tune in next week.